We're here at Ideas in Action in Davos. Excited to have a conversation with two people that I've one gotten to know very well here at Davos 2026, and one that I've known a little bit longer, Jon Carvill, Julie Choi. So excited to be here with you. Cerebras, CMO,
Z,
MBZ
UAI.
UAI, one of the rising stars in the Middle East, bringing open model AI, open source models and AI
Yep.
to the West.
Sure.
Very excited to have you both here. But really, I wanted to chat to you both about the role of communication in the era of rapid disruption, rapid transformation, FUD, um, the fear, the doubt. You guys have both been in comms and in marketing for a long time. Julie, I'm going to start with you, by the way. Before I actually answer the question, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it like I don't. What are you holding there?
Oh, thank you so much, Daniel. It's so good to be here with you and John, my bestie here in Davos. What I'm holding in my hands is the Cerebras wafer scale engine. This is the single largest chip ever made in the history of computing, and it's made 100% for AI. A simple way to think about it is we're the fastest AI chip in the world, AI hardware. We power OpenAI. We just announced that last week, and MBZ UAI.
All right. I wish we had more time because I would love to get into the specs of what you're solving, but we're going to come back. We're going to do that later. Okay. Right now, John, you've been in comms for a long time, and now you're running comms for a fast start Middle Eastern company. Obviously, there's so much kind of hyperbole in the world about what's going on with AI. You've been breaking new technologies, trying to keep the market calm, trying to keep CEOs in line. With this AI transformation going so fast, what's kind of your strategy for helping the market stay calm, stay focused, and realize the potential rather than worrying about the FUD?
There's a couple of strategies. I think the first strategy, if I had to look at it, all of our technology is open, and the world is changing a little bit right now. There's some very distinctive closed models from leading edge players that are out there. We go in the other direction. We believe in a world of open source. Put everything out there, make it accessible, transparent. There's no black box. You figure out how it works. There's full reproducibility, data sets, code, models, weights, everything. And we think that's critically important because if you want to get an ecosystem stimulated, I saw this firsthand at Meta with Llama. You have the ability to do it when you share it with people and give them the ability to customize it for itself. We're moving out of a world where we're going to talk about AI. I think this is the pinnacle of that here today, here at Davos this week. Now we're going to start talking more and more about the practical ways we use it. And I think that inflection is kind of upon us. I'd be curious Julie's opinion on that. But from my standpoint, that's what I really feel like now. It's about how you're using it, not about the speeds and feeds of the technology powering it necessarily.
And Julie, just to maybe augment the question a little bit, you're in a situation where the market loves to do this winner takes all thing. Every time it's either, say, for instance, the end company, NVIDIA, right? They have the whole market, or the alternative is Cerebras has new chip here to disrupt and destroy NVIDIA. And the reality is, truth a lot of times lays somewhere in between. That right now, a company like OpenAI is making a big commitment to work with you, but they do work with the others.
Absolutely.
And how do you sort of get past all the nonsense and focus on, hey, there's a multi-billion-dollar opportunity for Cerebras here?
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily mean it's got to take all the market away from some other company.
Absolutely not. So I joined Cerebras primarily because I saw this technology. I mean, I started my career in AI hardware at Intel. That's where I met John, and we worked together, and that was around 10 years ago. And so I've seen firsthand this AI opportunity grow for a decade. And I have to tell you, I just think we're getting started with the real potential of what AI is going to be driving for humanity. And so if you think about it that way, my approach is abundance. This is a rising tide.
Real optimist.
All the boats. I am. I'm like the chief optimistic officer, the new COO. But really, I mean, we cannot have this kind of like zero-sum attitude. I think that Cerebras, we complement the hardware that has been so vital for the AI's first wave, which is GPU, of course. But I see us as an alternative, but also a complement, that can speed up inference, which is basically AI at that time of use, as John pointed out, like using AI. That's the main thing to focus on right now.
Well, we are on the third day here in Davos. We know there's some big conversations that are going to be taking place, but just in the AI realm, it's been really, as at least as we see it as Futurum, it's all hands on deck right now. everything that can be built is being sold. If you can develop a chip that can provide high output tokens, there's going to be some demand for it. And of course, continued innovation is going to take place. Julie, like, what are you most excited about with all this technology and all this opportunity that AI is creating?
I'm so glad you asked me that, Daniel. I think that really this is about doing things we've never done before. This is about curing diseases. I'm really excited to work with healthcare professionals like at Mayo Clinic, GSK, to really end certain diseases,
Yeah.
not just like incremental progress. John?
Maybe just to add something to that, one of the things I'm most excited about is the days of needing models that are hundreds of billions of parameters to make an impact are over.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that we're going to keep seeing these big monolithic frontier foundation models, but now you can do a frontier model. We did one at 32 billion parameters, frontier class and performance. You could even potentially run it locally if you had a more powerful enough machine. And you're building that with a research team that, in comparison to what's working on maybe some of these other models, a fraction of the size, fraction of the cost for GPUs, which we absolutely need to have better ways to train. So if you can build the most parameter efficient model right now, deploy that at scale, and do that with a fraction of this team and the compute that others have used historically, we got maybe a path to get over this kind of hump around the compute issue as well. So there's better ways to do it. We're excited about
Well,
it.
you're both delivering more efficient inference compute, and one doing it through the way you develop models, one doing it through the way you build the chip architecture. John, I'd like to finish the conversation with a topic about, because we are at Davos, it is about bringing the world together here. You're in the Middle East, and obviously the relations between the West and the Middle East have always been interesting and evolved.
Yep.
Sometimes, but right now we definitely have East and West. And, you mentioned that, what you're trying to do is really be one of the leading open source model builders and providers to the West. That's a big ambition and mission. I'm sure it's bigger than just that, but like,
Yep.
how do you sort of navigate in that need right now? And how do you create confidence in the Western world that they can partner with the Middle East to get these leading edge technologies?
Yeah, I think confidence is created by a couple of things. I think number one, the sustainability of being able to do it over and over again. So we kind of shocked a little bit of the industry last year coming out with something that was frontier class, highly capable, built in the UAE and in the US, because we have a lab in the US as well. Now it's about repeatability, showing we have a roadmap that keeps going more and more and further, and then a research engine that's looking beyond LLMs to things like world models, which is really the next expanse after that. And if we demonstrate that and we do it in an open way that's accessible, particularly in the US, that we have US contributions to those models, we think there's a huge opportunity. There is a lack of open source innovation happening in the US and AI right now. We think we can help fill that gap because the Chinese innovation is accelerating. And most of the world now that's using open source is beginning to standardize on Chinese models. We see the chance to be the alternative, and we're going to do everything we can to take it this year.
Well, we know that with the US and domestic compute capabilities and the possibilities with open source, we could build the ultimate stack. And we know right now that the US leads in the technology and infrastructure, and the East leads in the research and the open source. And so if the West really does want to lead, it's going to need a partner like you. And of course, I'm going to need a lot more capacity and compute. So what both of you are doing is certainly going to be closely watched. It's going to be a terrific opportunity. And I want to thank you both, Julie, John, for spending some time here at Ideas in Action in Davos. Look at that beautiful backdrop. Look at this beautiful backdrop.
It's the worst places to be right now. This is beautiful.
So great to chat to both.
Appreciate it, Daniel.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.